Hello and welcome to another episode of Career Peer, a program of H.U.M.A.N Web Radio in Asociatia H.U.M.A.N. Today we are your host, David from Spain, and here with me I have Berta, also from Spain.
Hello.
And Anna from Georgia.
Hello.
And today we will be talking about career orientation and opportunities for youth people in the in our countries. So we will start with high school, and from there on the different paths you can take. It can be college, it can be professional education, or stepping directly in the working life.
Yes, David, thank you for your introduction.
You're welcome.
And maybe I can start, if you want, with some facts about the high school in Spain. So in Spain, most people are doing like the long-term high school that leads you in university, and in this high school you can choose different paths. And yes, so like for example in Spain we have three main roads that you can take in high school, and it's the technological field, the social field, and like more the scientific field that involves, I don't know, like biology, chemistry, and things like that. And you start this more or less at 16 or 15, right, David?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, then the last 2 years you work on these fields, and then you get ready for university. And yeah, like that's mainly it. You can go to public high schools or private high schools, and you can choose depending on what you can afford. But yeah, all of them prepare you for a big exam that you take to go to university or to choose another road to the working world. So how is it in Georgia? Is it similar?
No, it's kind of different in Georgia. You have to study 12 years, and after that you decide if you want to go to the university or maybe in a college, or you start working or whatever. But you have to study these 12 years.
Okay, so it's mandatory.
Mandatory,
yeah.
Yes. And in schools we have from 8th grade, I think, we have some professional educational lessons, and those lessons help students to understand better different fields of working, and it helps them to better decide what they want to do in the future.
Okay.
They're often taken to the factories or laboratories or universities, and they have the chance to observe this working and studying process, and it really helps them to make the decision in the future, I think.
Okay, that's cool. Actually, in Spain, we also have something similar. Like in some of the high schools that we have, there's the possibility on the last year, like on the summer of the last year, to do kind of an internship for a month in a company. You can choose the company, they have a list, and you can choose it. And then if you do this, it's like another subject, and you can like avoid one of the subjects in the last year of school. So it counts, your grade counts for the final grade of your high school to get into university, and it's very helpful to I don't know, understand a little bit more the working world, and yeah, to see what you're gonna do in the future and things like that. And what about you, David? Do you want to add anything about high schools in Spain?
I have something, but it's not only for high schools, it's for the general educational life. And I also wanted to ask Anna if this is also a thing in Georgia. So in Spain we have help from the government, from primary school to up to college, and also professional education, and also to learn idioms, languages. So it's help from the government. You have to apply, and basically they pay you the fees in each academic year. So you need to accomplish some requirements, but in the end they are paying you the fees for one academic year.
I don't think so. I know that in the universities you can have the help from the government. You can have grants to study, but I don't think we have the same thing that you mentioned now, besides of universities.
But you also have like private and public schools, for example, like the difference, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
And do you think it's very different, like the opportunities you get in both of these?
Actually, I think that in public schools you have more opportunities than in private ones.
Okay.
Because from my experience, it was like this. Because in my school there were so many opportunities for students, and I don't know many private schools that have so much opportunities like we had.
I think in Spain, regarding the high schools, it's usually it's more strict in private high schools, so you are like more prepared for university and for the exam that we have to do, because when we finish high school, if we want to get into university, all of us have to do like an access general exam, and you can choose your subjects depending on what you want to do, you know. So I think these private schools prepare you more, but regarding universities, public schools are usually have a better reputation, let's say. And so if you want, now we can lead into universities and things like that. So what about universities? You also have, I guess, public and private.
Yes, we have, but public ones are more popular ones in Georgia. Like most
so
of the students, do the public ones. In the universities, there are employment forums held in the universities. I think it's annually held, and the companies are represented on those forums. So they are talking about their work and development strategies and things like this, if you want to work with them. And all of these companies that are represented on that forums have a great schedule for students, so they can work and also be a student, and
that's great.
It's a really good opportunity for them, I think.
Yeah, I want to add something to this, to the topic of public versus private college, because I have seen, at least in Spain, that there is some kind of stigma with the private ones. Like, if you say, "Oh, I got my degree in a private college," some people will say, "Oh, so you bought your diploma, you bought your title," meaning that you are paying for it. You are not going to a public one. So if you pay for it, you have guaranteed to pass it. So you don't have to really struggle to get the title. And yes, you see that a lot in Spain, at least.
And it's not true, because I went to a private university and I worked a lot.
Nice, debunking it.
Exactly. But so in Spain, the public university is around 1,000 euros per year, and the private is like around 9,500 euros per year, but it can go really, really high. So a lot of people have to choose maybe a degree that it's not the first choice, because they can afford the private university, and it's that. But at least we have scholarships, like David said, so you can also opt for that. So that's good. And we also have internships in university, like usually in the last years of the degree, if you have a degree. And also we have the professional formation, I think it's called in English. So after high school, if you don't want to study for university, you can also choose to go directly into a education that leads you to work, and it's called like medium grade or cycle. And you can also do like the superior cycle if you want to have more education on that field, but it's not a university degree. It's the same, I think, in Georgia.
Have the same.
Right?
Yes. And also about the universities, I want to add that in Georgia, most of the universities, there is a chance for students with high GPA rate that they can become assistant lecturers, so they have to
That's cool.
pass some exams of the subject, and I know they have to pass an IQ test also, and they can be an assistant lecturers.
Okay.
And after 1 or 2 years, maybe they even can become lecturers.
That's great.
Yeah,
I think we don't
that's-
have that, right, David?
Yeah, that's
I don't
I
think
think in every university it is like
Mhm.
this.
Okay.
Because I've had an assistant lecturer who's been just graduated from university, and she's been already teaching.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we don't have that, but I think it would be nice because it's a good opportunity. And yeah. So what else? Yes. So if you choose in Spain, if you choose that other road, you can like not do the last 2 years of high school, so you can start at 16 already, like really in the working world and getting ready. And it's really a good opportunity because of course a lot of people are not really meant for studying or being in a classroom, so you have a lot of possibilities. So you can do, I don't know, things with tourism, things with agriculture, things with business. I think really in every field there's some kind of formation like that, right? In Georgia, it's the
Yes,
same,
yes, it's the same for us,
right?
and it's
Mhm.
very popular. actually.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that if it's really popular because in Spain there's some stigma also regarding that.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is, but it's still
Like I think
popular.
it shouldn't be because it's a really good opportunity, and actually a lot of people start working really, they don't have that many problems with unemployment. But I don't know, it's seen as that you are lazy or you don't want to study and stuff like that, and I think it's not so good that we have this stigma because everybody should be able to choose what they prefer, you know.
Of course.
But it is also about the status,
Yeah, exactly.
if you meet someone that went to college, it's like, oh wow, she went to college. But some people actually prefer to directly to be trained in a specific job or
Yeah.
field, and just 2 years of training and then directly to work. And they will say, you went 4-5 years to college and you only got knowledge.
Yeah.
You studied, but you didn't get any training, any real
Exactly.
practice. So in the end, they are like, oh, I am better prepared than you.
Yeah, and actually, if you go to university, it takes much longer to start working because first you need the degree, then they ask you for a master, then you do an internship where you are usually not paid, and yeah, it takes much longer to really start with your working life. So yeah. And talking about the working life, I wanted to ask you, Anna, how is it like the employment rate more or less in Georgia? Is it okay, or do you have a lot of problems with that?
I think it's not the greatest, but it's normal, I think.
Okay.
For recent years, it's been better than past years, so I think we're getting better.
Yeah. I think the same, right, David?
I think we Spanish cannot presume about employment rates.
Of course. But I think it's better because we had a big crisis, but I think now we are recovering. I mean, COVID didn't help, but
Mm.
I think now there are starting to be a lot of new things that they didn't exist before, like mostly in marketing, I think, and I don't know, public relations. I think more people are starting to learn more languages, so that's also good. Like, and you can also work from home, so the opportunities are getting expanding a lot, and I think it's cool.
Yeah, but a lot of people is learning languages because they want out.
Yes, that's also true. But we have to try to keep the brains in the country and yes, to try to stay even if sometimes you want to go, but yeah. So if you want, guys, we can start talking about our personal experience in high school, university, and all of that. So, for example, as I was saying before, in Spain we have this opportunity to do an internship in high school. So, for example, I did that, and it was for me really cool because it was my first time in a company, and it was shocking in the beginning, but I learned a lot. I was doing like administrative stuff, and I don't know, I felt very adult. I was only, I don't know, 16, 17. And yeah, I was going every day to work, and I was really feeling good, feeling proud of myself. And sometimes it was hard because I had some responsibilities, but really it helped me a lot, and I'm glad that I did that. What about you?
I also have a working experience. Like when I was on my second and third year of studying, I was working in a cafe because I really wanted to be more independent and to have a new experience and something like this. And I think it really helped me because it helped me to socialize more and to better understand about this life in general. And it helped me also in management of time and money and stuff like this, because I really didn't know how to manage my time and money also. And it's been really a good experience for me. And now when I am back in Georgia, I will be on my fourth year of studying, and I study medicine, so I will have chance to work in a hospital, and I'm planning on to do that. So
okay, cool. What about you, David?
Well, I think I had a much normal high school life. I didn't work until I went to college. So I did high school, the normal path, and then for the college preparation is 2 years. I took the humanities path. I took Latin and Greek because I really loved the literature and humanities. But yeah, I didn't work during that time, so I think that's the most usual thing in high school.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah. I also didn't work really in high school. I just did that thing, but I really started to do these jobs in university and to get some money while I was studying psychology, by the way. And yeah, I think, like you said, Anna, it's very helpful to learn how to manage your money and really like see a different perspective of the world, because if you are studying you can only see the learning perspective, but when you are doing something in the working world, it's another world. Sorry for repeating myself. And yeah, so I did a lot of different types of jobs, like in shops, in restaurants, etc. And I also did an internship in university in my last year in a hospital, and it was a great experience because I really saw what I want to do in the future, and I also saw what I didn't want to do in the future, which is also very important. Like with these experiences you learn what you like and what you don't like, and yeah, it's very cool. And now I'm planning to start my master degree, because in Spain, if you are studying psychology, you have to have a master. I think it's like this in a lot of countries with many different types of careers, that you need a master to work. But yeah, now I'm volunteering, and I think also volunteering is a very good experience, even if it's not work related, but you also work a lot, like we are doing here. And yeah, I think it helps you to see also other aspects of, what you can do in life. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, I like it. It's also a great experience for me. That's why I wanted to volunteer. I actually wanted it so long, but I didn't have time for that because of my studies. And when I found some free time, I decided to do that, and that's why I'm here right now. And I think it will be a lifelong experience for me.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Mm-hmm. What about you, David?
Okay, before volunteering, I will talk about my working life also.
Okay,
because
go ahead.
It's quite fun for others, not for me. So during the degree, I studied a degree in English studies. It's called English Philology, and it was 4 years in my city, Alicante. And during the summers, I had to work to pay the next year's fees, and I had plenty of jobs. I didn't like any of them, but I can tell you what I learned. So I work as a chef assistant. I didn't like it because it was way too stressful. I mean, I was not doing really anything. I was peeling potatoes and taking the trash and stuff like that, very easy, but still I was very stressed. And looking at the waiters and the main chef, I learned that I would never want to work in a restaurant. So what else? I also work as a workman in a construction site, moving materials and stuff like that.
That's hard.
And it was in the summer in Spain, under the sun. Yes, I didn't like it, but it was a good workout, I have to say. I wouldn't do it again. And I also work as a private tutor, and in particular lessons, and also in an academy teaching English. And that's obviously the one I most like, because it's what I studied and what maybe I will do in the future. But also, this is the one I like the most, because after the degree I studied library science. Yes, it exists. So it's basically how the libraries work. And I have to say, it's not that simple. You know, a librarian is not only the guy that tells you to shut up in the library. He does and knows a lot of things. And I went to an academy and I studied that, and after that I did an internship, 3 months. I was not getting paid, but I have to say that's the one that I like the most, because it's really what I expected to be, and I learned a lot. And now I am debating with myself if I should go for the teacher path or the librarian one. But I really like it, even though I was not getting paid. And I think that this is a classic debate, like, do what you really want or do where you get paid the most. And I think that you have to find a balance. Obviously, you need a good livelihood, but you have to be happy with what you are doing. And because in the end, you are going to embitter yourself to become really sad, even though you have money. But so yes, I will try to find a balance. I will study a master's also in this next academic year. If I get in, likely I will.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I will talk about my volunteer experience. Well, of course, I am loving it. I think that all the skills I had when I came here, I am improving them, but I am also getting new ones, and that's very, very important for what I want to do in the future. And well, I choose to do this because I really wanted to go out and meet new people, new places, more specifically the Eastern Europe. And here I am, enjoying it. I don't regret anything.
Yeah, actually, I'm also really enjoying it, and I encourage everyone that didn't try it to try it at least once in their life, because it's very rewarding if you do volunteering work. And also, if you have the chance to travel, even better, you get 2 in 1. And I also want to add that in the European Solidarity Corps, which is the program where we are volunteering through, they offer volunteer projects around Europe and also internships. So it's not only volunteering, and it's for the youth mainly. And yes, so there's also internships where you can apply to companies in different countries, and it's a very good opportunity if you want to travel. But yeah, so we encourage people to try it, because it's a very good program, and yeah, there are very cool projects in there.
Thank you, Berta, for this insight. So for the end of this episode, we wanted to advise you to take any opportunity you have and don't have regrets in your life. Just go for it and enjoy it and get the best out of it. Even if it's a bad experience, you will also get something out of it, like we mentioned before. And yes, now we have exposed the different opportunities we have in our countries and also the differences. And the main point here is that you will always have a choice, a path to choose, And yes, you have to listen to yourself, follow your tastes, your personality, and in the end, find a balance, and you will be happy.
Yeah, that's totally true. And also, I would like to say that if you don't find the opportunities like right in front of you, you should really go and research and try to find what really suits you, because sometimes you will not find it in the first hand, but you really should go out there and really try to find what makes you happy, because I think if you don't do something that makes you happy, it's very hard to do your job right and to keep working every day. So yeah, I think it's important. And yeah, also, like David said, if you find yourself in a situation that you don't really enjoy, don't despair. You will learn something from it, and it will also help you to see what you don't like, and you will end up in the right position for sure.
I know that it is really hard work to go through the school and the university, but I believe that all this hard work in the end will be really very rewarding. So just don't give up and go on your way. Everything will be just fine.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much for listening. We are your hosts, Anna, David, and Berta. And this episode of Career Peer is an activity that is part of the H.U.M.A.N project.
You can find previous episodes of this series on our YouTube channel, and also as well as other podcasts of H.U.M.A.N Web Radio.
You can also follow us on our social media at Asociacja H.U.M.A.N. And thank you for listening. Goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.